Sage.
Hi, Dani.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Welcome back, guys. So this is episode
6.
6. 6 of our serial killer season.
Yeah.
And who are we, Dani?
We're the hags of
We're your
Silence of the
hags. Exactly. You guys should know that by now.
I would
if
hope
you
so.
don't know that yet,
Get out of here.
fucking welcome.
I mean, don't get out of here. Stay a
Oh,
while.
Jesus.
I don't know why I said
It's nice to meet you.
Sit down,
Dani's not
stay
very
a while.
friendly. Yeah, so how did you guys like our episode last week? It was fun. A little, well, I mean,
Not fun, but
about as fun as it can be.
yeah, different, I would say,
Considering.
for
Mm-hmm.
serial killer eps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's really
Yeah, I know.
I hope you liked it. We liked it. Oh, you guys may have seen we put some polls up.
Yeah.
So, we've gotten your feedback, and I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty inconclusive.
Yeah, you guys were like pretty freaking
50-50.
split down the damn middle. Like, and
Yeah,
it wasn't even
so-
like, and the thing was, it was so funny because like, at one point, like I remember like looking at the polls and like,
And it was like way.
yeah, it would be like 15 people have voted this, and then like only 3 people have voted this, and then like an hour later, the 3 had like fucking 17 friends, and you're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
It's like, I really thought I had a handle on
Yeah.
this. I do not. So I guess what I'm hearing is that you want all of it.
Yes.
So.
But I think the one thing that was conclusive was that you guys want more of our personal lives.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. That sounds right. So. I don't know if you know this about Dani and I. I would say more Dani than me. Me too, but Dani posts on her Instagram once a year, I think. I think she does an annual Instagram post. So,
Maybe twice a year if I'm feeling spicy.
yeah.
I gotta be feeling real damn good about myself though
Yeah.
to do it.
yeah, for sure. And, like, I feel like I post, like, maybe once every, like, 3 or 4 months, I would say is a good average for me. So we're not very, like, I don't get me wrong, I'm on Instagram a lot, but we're just not big sharers of the personal lives.
Nah.
But, you know what? We'll work on it. We'll give you a little something to work with.
Yeah,
I think it is high time we introduce ourselves.
maybe post a
And-
photo of ourselves.
I was gonna say do a face
Wow.
reveal. But just, you know what? Just be aware that if you see us on the street, you will not recognize
Yeah.
us.
That's the perks of being makeup artists. I'm a
Mm-hmm. I
damn
can look
good
like whatever
catfish.
the fuck I want. Yeah. So, yeah, I just, in the next couple, maybe a little while here, we'll probably do a little bit of a reveal so that you guys can see who we are, and,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll, I don't know, put our band and one fun fact about ourselves.
Our favorite band.
Yeah, bands are very important to me, Dan. Yeah, so thank you for your votes.
Yeah. It's
I
really
appreciate
helpful. It is.
Yeah, for sure. Because honestly, Dani and I have been going back and forth, kind of being like, it's mostly me pushing and being like, I feel like we should post more. And she's like, yeah, great, do it. And then I don't, because I don't know what to post. So we're working on it. So the polls really help. And yeah, if you have suggestions about stuff you wanna hear or see, please send it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because my creativity is like at about a 0.3%
Yeah.
out of like 100%.
I know someone said when we asked what do you want to see more of on the podcast, someone said our butts, and that's not happening. Thank you, but no.
My butt is nice.
It's a nice ass, but it's not yours.
It's not yours. It's my. Who said that?
Steph.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Steph.
Also, on topic of things of that nature, I just want to say thanks to Steph because she gave us a lot of support and a lot of suggestions, and yeah, we really appreciate that. We got an email from her, and it was really wonderful. You made my day, and I love you so much. And yeah, so thanks, Steph.
Thanks, Steph.
You're the bomb, diggity.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like
it's a pretty long boy. I'm
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
honest. I thought it was
Long
not
boy.
gonna be that long. And now I'm
then it
sitting
were.
here realizing that I have 10 pages of writing.
oh shit.
I mean, my font is big because I'm blind, but like when my font
Yes.
was normal size, I think it was like 6 pages. So
All right. Well, you know what? There's no time like the present. Everyone get your popcorn
Yes.
and listen to some murder.
Yeah. Yeah, so today we're talking about Colin Ireland. He is not from Ireland.
No.
He's from England.
Can you imagine Colin Ireland from Ireland?
That would be
How
pretty
embarrassing.
cool.
Oh. I just feel like there'd be so many jokes to be made.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but he is known as the Gay Slayer. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's not a very nice man.
Fuck you, Colin
also-
Ireland. Make fun of his name, guys.
Yeah, make
Fuck
fun of
that
his
guy.
name. I'll get into the end as to why he was killing gay men in particular.
Because he's insecure?
No, it's worse.
Oh, God. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Okay, but we're going to start off at the very beginning. At his
All
birth.
His birth.
birth.
Yay. Wait, no, not yay. I take it back.
Not his
birth.
birth.
Boo.
When? I will say, though, this is probably the funniest, like,
Birth story?
not birth story, but, like, reason to become a serial killer. We'll get there, though. But just hold on to that point.
Okay.
We'll get there.
interested.
So he was born on March 16th, 1954 in West Hill Hospital to an unmarried teenage couple in Dartford, Kent, England.
Classic.
Yes, so he's a Pisces, which
Ooh.
a lot of Pisces and Virgos. Y'all are serial killers.
Really, though?
Yeah.
I'm concerned. If you know
I think Pisces
or
was the most
Virgos-
common.
Yeah, Pisces was,
Yeah.
I think. Virgo second.
Yeah.
Jen, sorry. I got my eye on you.
Nico.
Nico, oh God. Dani. Oh my God. Snap twice if you need help. Anyways.
Okay. So not long after he was born, his father left him and his mother. The identity of his father is actually unknown, as his mother didn't even put a name on the birth certificate, nor did
Oh,
she
that's
ever tell him who her
That's
dad.
like Charles Manson.
Yeah.
His literal name on his birth certificate was No Name Maddox.
Oh. This one was just blank.
Wild. Okay, well, you know what? At least Charlie had no name.
Yeah. So at the time, his mom was only 17 years old, so this left Colin to be raised by his teenage mother and his maternal grandparents. So they stayed living at their grandparents' house until 1959, when his mother decided they needed a little bit more independence, and the two of them moved to Birch Road, Gravesend. I'm going to botch these names because England has some weird-ass town names.
Okay, England. If you're from England, please explain.
You speak
why
English.
you're
Can you simmer down with the, like, wild names?
Yeah, also, like, toilet bowl? You need to fucking pick better names for your places. You know, you can come for me for that one. I stand by it.
So since his mother was so young at the time of his birth, she couldn't find a steady job that would allow her to raise her son while making a proper income. This is when his childhood kind of started going downhill. So over the next 6 years, him and his mom moved 9 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So this
As
caused
somebody who's moved a lot in their life, that,
not good.
I mean, not that much, but that fucking
Yeah.
sucks, man.
Yeah, that's more than once a year.
I was gonna say, that's like twice a year sometimes.
Yeah. So
Oh,
this caused
fuck
both
that.
of them, like, constant physical and emotional upheaval.
Yeah, fair.
So since his mother was uneducated and unskilled, she had to rely on low-income part-time work. After a few years, she was unable to cope with the financial hardships of being a single mother, so her and Colin ultimately moved back to her parents' house. This all changed in 1961 when she found a new partner. Yes.
She found love. Oh, wait. The way you pause makes me think it's not good love.
It's not bad love.
Oh, that's good.
Not really sure what happened to the love. So this all changed in 1961. She found a new partner. He was an electrician by trade. And the three of them moved to Farnall Road? Farnall.
How do you spell it?
Farnol. Farnall.
Yeah, Farnall.
Farnall
Farnall.
Road, Dartford. Dartford, where they lived for the next 3 years. The two of them got married, and Colin took the last name of his new stepfather, Saker. Saker? S-A-K-E-R.
I think Saker.
Saker.
I think Sacker would be C-K-E-R.
Yeah. So nowhere could I find this man's first name. It was just, he was referred to as Sacker everywhere. Saker. Fuck. He was referred to as Saker everywhere. So he had a good sense of humor, and he treated Colin as his own son. Unfortunately for the family, Saker's work was inconsistent, and he got jobs sporadically, which left them once again in financial hardship.
No.
Yeah. In 1964, when Colin was 10 years old, their little family was evicted because they were unable to pay rent. So Colin and his mother moved back to Westmalling to stay in a facility for homeless women and children.
Without New Love? Without Saker?
Yeah, so Saker moved back in with his parents.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because he couldn't stay in the shelter with them.
How old was he?
I think he was 26 at the time when that happened.
Okay, that's not that
No,
bad.
no,
Although,
not
you
that
know what? In, like, the 60s, being 26 was like being 40
Yeah.
now. So,
Yeah.
actually, not cute.
It gets even less cute. So
right.
later the same year, his mother discovered she was pregnant with Saker's baby.
Ah!
Yeah.
Wait. Who hit Saker's mother?
No, like Colin's mom was pregnant with her husband's child.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, you said it gets less cute. He found out his
It's
mom was
because I'm not done.
Okay, you know what?
So later the
Fair.
same year, his mother discovered she was pregnant with her second child, and despite their lack of income, she was persistent on keeping the baby. But of course, they couldn't really afford to do so.
Nope.
So you want to guess what the next best option was?
Can I,
You want a
Lady
vowel?
of the Night.
No.
What?
They put Colin in foster care.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like the
Colin,
worst.
hear me out, buddy. We love you. You're great. But we have a shiny new baby.
He has
Can only
nothing
keep one.
but good things to say about his mom, which like
Oh,
blew my mind.
no.
Yeah. Him and his mom were like apparently really close, and he was like, "Alright, cool." Whatever.
He's like, yeah, totally. I don't like myself either.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so Saker and Colin's mother eventually found a home in West Kingsdown, and they brought Colin to live with them once again, thankfully. So he was taken out of foster care and back with his mom.
How long was he in foster care for? Do you know?
About a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not good, but.
So not long after Colin returned to live with his mother and his stepfather just walked out on them, leaving them once again in financial hardship. Yeah.
Okay.
So after this, Colin's last name
Fuck
was
you.
reverted back to his mother's maiden name, Ireland. Due to all the moving and constant change in Colin's life, he never really had a chance to make friends in school, and he was often bullied for his thin, lanky body type. In 1966, his mother met another man, and they got married. And the new family moved into Clyde Street, Sheerness in Kent. They would end up living here for the next 5 years. Thankfully, their marriage was strong, and his new stepfather gave his mother the life she deserved after all her years of struggling. So while living in Sheerness, Colin was approached on 4 separate occasions by older men asking him for sexual favors.
Oh, no.
The first time, he was working at a local fair for the summer. The person offered him a necklace for his mother in exchange for a sexual act. He declined.
And, sorry, he's at what age at this point?
12.
Oh, no.
The second time, he was 12 years old when a man in his early 20s in a public restroom peered over the top of the stall. Although he didn't outright make any sexual advances towards Colin, this incident was
That's
quite
traumatizing.
disturbing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was pretty young, so that's fucked up. The third time was at a local movie theater. He was actually approached by his optician wanting sexual favors.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. The fourth time he was at a secondhand store, and the man working there approached him asking for sexual favors.
Jesus. Okay. What? I don't know what the culture is like over there.
I don't know.
But is it just like fucking normal to
Yeah.
approach 12-year-old children and ask for blowjobs?
Yeah, I'm really not sure.
I don't. That. Okay.
So and there was never any sexual contact, but all these cases obviously filled
Yeah,
Colin
but-
with a lot of rage and feeling of complete violation, for which he had no outlet, and ultimately fed to his hatred for homosexual men.
And I feel like men in general too, because
yeah,
like up until now he's had no dad, and then a dad, and then
a walkout.
he went to foster care, and then had a dad again, and then his dad pieced it, and now there's a new man, and now all these other men keep trying to bone.
Yeah.
No, he's not having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know he did horrible things, but I feel really bad for him so far.
Yeah. So at the age of 16 in 1970, Colin committed his first crime. Being unhappy with both his school and his home life, he began acting out and decided to run away to London. He stole the 4 pounds he needed for transportation to London, but was caught with and issued with a fit person's order. I had to look this up because I had no fucking idea what it was.
Yeah, what is that?
So a fit person's order is an order committing a child with a troubled background to the care of a respectable adult who is deemed fit for the responsibility until the child is 18 years of age. A fit person's order usually is made when there is evidence that the parent or guardian has lost control over the juvenile, the parent or guardian consents to the making of such order, and there is a relative or other person willing to assume the responsibility to take care of the juvenile.
But has he had, like, a troubled child? I mean, like, yes, don't get me wrong, like...
I think it pertains more to the parent or guardian has lost control over their child.
I just mean, like, I don't know. I feel like that hasn't really happened.
I
mean, other than him moving that one time.
Just acting out at school, getting in fights, stuff like that.
Okay, I see.
And then he ran away. Okay. So after this, he was sent to Finchton Manor School in Kent. This school was for boys who had both intelligence and emotional problems, which I just feel sticking all those boys in one school probably a recipe for fucking disaster.
Yeah, let's take all of these kids in puberty age with all of these hormones that are kind of dumb and kind of emotionally damaged and see what happens.
Let's just put them all together. It'll be a good time.
You know what? Maybe if we put them all together, they'll all be friends and they'll figure everything out themselves.
So, of course, he was teased and bullied once again, but this time in an act of frustration and revenge, he set fire to one of his bully's belongings.
Oh.
Yeah. So, of course, he was expelled, but no charges were ever filed against him. After this, he immediately ran away and tried to go to London once again.
Am I crazy, or is that a bit of an overreaction?
What do you mean?
He's in a troubled boys' home, and he set fire to, like, some kid's backpack, and he got expelled?
He, like, said that he, like, always had, like, a fascination with fire, and he would, like, dream about fire, but he wasn't, like, an arsonist, so.
I just feel like that.
Yeah.
I just feel like everyone's, like, just sticking this kid elsewhere. They're like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah. So at this point, he was only 17 years old, and, of course, he had no source of income. He became homeless and resorted to robbery. And, of course, he was caught again. And he was sentenced to spend time in Halsley Bay, a reform school for youth between the ages of 16 and 22. While he was there, they provided him with some much-needed therapy and vocational training, which, if you don't know, is programs and courses that focus on skills required for, like, a particular job function or trade. So it's like school, but, like, more, I guess, like
trade school.
Trade school, but, like, more specific. Like, you know, it's, like, for specific trades.
Specialized trade school.
But for children.
For babies.
And no big surprise, he absolutely hated it there and eventually escaped and attempted to run away, but it wasn't long before he got caught again and was brought back to finish the remainder of his sentence. This time he was actually taken to a stricter reform school called Rochester?
Rochester
and Grendon. And
Rochester and
Grendon from 1971 to 1972. And he was released at the age of 18.
Okay.
So in December of 1975, at the age of 21, he was found guilty of 2 counts of burglary, stealing a car, and damage to property. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison and was released in November of 1976, early on good behavior. After this, he went to live in Swindon, a small town in England, where he eventually met his second girlfriend and began his first sexual relationship.
Ooh,
yeah.
Bow chicka bow.
So she was 5 years older than him and had 4 children unrelated to Colin. They planned to marry. Yeah.
Okay.
They planned to get married, but they never did, and eventually they separated.
Gotta be real. 4 kids already?
Yeah.
Maybe not a bad
Homeboy's
thing.
only 22.
Oh, buddy, you are committing to a lot there. Oh.
Well, he didn't stay, so.
I guess he didn't.
He didn't commit.
He got out.
So after 2 years after his first conviction, he was found guilty of demanding with menace, aka demanding money with threat of harm.
Okay.
After this, he was sentenced to another 18 months in prison. For years to come, this pattern would repeat itself. In 1980, he was sentenced to 2 years for armed robbery, 2 months for attempted deception, aka fraud. That was in 1981. 6 months for going equipped to cheat, aka stealing. That was in 1985, and no surprise here, all of these sentences made it pretty hard for him to find a job moving forward.
Yeah. Take one look at that resume.
No, thank you. So he took any work he could find, including being a volunteer fireman, a line cook, a volunteer at a homeless shelter, and a bouncer at various bars and gay nightclubs.
So he's really bringing it back.
Yeah, he's
trying.
I wouldn't say a man of many trades, but
a man
of many jobs.
Many trades.
So
a jack of all jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
He wasn't good at them, but
he did them.
And
that's what's important.
Yeah. So in 1981, at the age of 27, he met Virginia Zammit at a lecture for survivalism. Found that quite interesting.
Weird.
She was 36 at the time and had a 5-year-old daughter.
And he's like 22?
27.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still, that's quite the age gap.
Yeah.
But better than 22.
Yeah. So she had a 5-year-old daughter, and she was paralyzed from a motorcycle accident she had been in when she was 24 years old. Yeah. So she was in a wheelchair. So the couple eventually married in 1982, and Colin absolutely adored her and his new stepdaughter. The new family lived in Holloway, and Colin was known to the locals as the Gentle Giant. I should mention he definitely grew out of his awkward lanky phase, and he was like 6'2".
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
He's a big boy.
And also, I think 6'2" people were less common.
Yes, that's why everybody called him the Gentle Giant.
Yeah. Nicely done, buddy.
So, unfortunately, the couple did get divorced in 1987 after Colin admitted to having an affair with another woman.
Colin!
Yeah. Not too long after this, Colin met Janet Young, the landlady of the Globe Pub in Buckfast, Devon. Within a week of meeting, Colin moved in with her and her 2 children, aged 11 and 13. Mothers of the world, if you're listening, don't fucking do that. You've been with this man for 2 goddamn weeks, and you've got 2 kids at home, and you're letting him move in?
Yeah,
do it.
I gotta say, I agree. Kids come first, guys.
Yeah.
Kids come first.
Don't do that.
Don't do that shit.
Within 3 months, the 2 of them were married.
3 months?
Yep.
You know what? I guess if they moved in together after 2 weeks,
3
they
months
really
isn't really
took it slow. Yeah. My God.
So things seemed to be going well. But after only 4 months of being married, Colin stole her car, withdrew the money from her bank account, and disappeared from the family. And left her fucking broke. Yep.
What a dick!
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God. Cheating on his ex-wife, stealing his wife's new life. Oh my God.
What the fuck, man?
No good.
So in 1991, he moved to Southend-on-Sea. Yes, that is a place. All separate words. In Essex. Southend-on-Sea, Essex, which is about 40 miles away from London. This is relevant.
This is what I'm talking about when I talk about names.
Yeah, simmer down, England.
What is that?
Simmer down. So while he was there, he worked at a shelter for homeless people, while also being homeless himself. He eventually resigned after staff began making unfounded allegations regarding his explosive temper in 1992.
But were they unfounded?
I don't think so.
He sounds a little crazy.
Yeah. He was miffed and he just quit because of it.
Oh, you fucking baby.
Yeah, he was miffed that they were talking about it and quit. So after a lifetime of failure and struggling, Ireland was growing increasingly frustrated and tired of having to continuously seek unskilled work. Sir, this is your own doing.
Oh my God, I'm so dumb. I, for a minute, was like, Ireland the country?
No.
Yeah, sir, what do you mean? You fucking left the school that was going to get you skilled work. Yeah. Are you dumb?
You literally did this to yourself.
I guess he is. He went to a dumb people's school, so.
Also a forced school because he was a bad boy.
Bad boy.
So in 1993, at the age of 39, he made a New Year's resolution that he was going to become a serial killer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
That's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like I've heard of this now that.
So he was always fascinated by serial killers and had spent many hours studying them. We're not going to be serial killers.
I was going to say, you know what, same, but.
I'm not going to be a fucking serial killer.
I have many New Year's resolutions.
None of them
not on the top of my list. Not at all. What?
So
Jesus,
he was
what a
very
dumbass.
knowledgeable of geographic profiling that helps investigators locate the killer within a certain radius, about 7 miles from where they live. We mentioned that he was 40 miles away from London. Because of this, he chose London as his murder ground, deliberately misleading the police and keeping them far away from his Southend-on-Sea home.
I got it nicely done, I guess. Fuck you.
You did your research,
creepy
I guess.
asshole, but yeah. He is nothing if not thorough.
Yes. So, because of its reputation in the gay community as a place to easily find a partner for the night, Ireland chose the Colin pub on Brompton Road, West London, to hunt for potential victims.
Ugh.
So, members of the pub would wear color-coded
So
handkerchiefs to indicate their sexual proclivities, making his hunt easy and avoiding any misunderstandings.
Oh no, I totally know who this guy is now.
Yeah. So he began frequenting the Colin on March 8th of 1993. He was posing as a quote-unquote top when he met his first victim, Peter Walker. I'm going to be honest, these murders they're not gory, but they're not nice to listen to. So
Okay.
there's 5 of them, just forwarding you. All 5 of them, there are details, so if you don't want to listen, skip to the end. So yes, he met Peter Walker. Walker had a colored handkerchief indicating that he was a bottom and had approached Ireland in the pub. The two ended up leaving together to go back to Walker's apartment in Battersea. Once they arrived at his apartment, Walker consented to Ireland gagging him with knotted condoms and binding him with a cord to the 4-poster bed. Of course, Walker assumed this was just foreplay, but it soon turned excessively violent. Ireland came prepared with a filled knapsack containing gear rope, gloves, a knife, a change of clothes in case his got bloody, and he proceeded to use a dog leash and a belt to beat and whip Walker. And in the height of his fury, he pulled a plastic bag over his head and ultimately killed him via suffocation. He then stayed to watch TV and tidy up the crime scene,
What the fuck?
leaving the body knotted with condoms, jammed into the mouth and nostrils, and 2 teddy bears arranged on the bed in a sexual position. Worried that it would raise suspicion of neighbors, he stayed in Walker's apartment until the following morning, and he traveled home on public transit to blend in with the early morning rush of commuters. Honestly, fuck this guy because that is so smart.
But, okay. Okay. So you kill somebody, and then you just fucking hang out for the next, like, what, like 8
12 hours? Yeah.
Are you joking? Oh, God. And can you imagine how fucking scary that would be?
Yeah, like thinking you're fucking consenting to something and having absolutely no idea, being like, this kind of hurts. Can you,
Yeah,
like, stop?
literally, and then just suddenly you realize, like,
Yeah.
oh, he's not.
And you're,
That's
like,
not what this is.
completely tied up and there's nothing you can do.
There's
No fucking thank you.
Fuck.
So he disposed of the clothes, gloves, and shoes by throwing them out the train window, something he ended up doing in his future murders as well. So while he was at Walker's house before he left, he actually locked his dog in one of the bedrooms before the murder, Walker's dog. 2 days had passed and Walker's body still wasn't discovered, so Ireland anonymously called a local tabloid to say he was concerned about the man's unattended dog.
Oh, you fucking...
Yeah.
Jesus.
Police soon after discovered Walker's body, but they had very little evidence to go on. They just assumed it was an S&M sex game gone too far. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So they turned to the gay community.
Everyone loves to be fucking plastic bag over their head during sex.
I mean, like, if you're into that, but I feel
but
like
that's
you know
the thing-
how to do it if you are.
But that's what I mean. I don't think that that's a fetish.
It might
Like, I
be.
mean, I'm sure obscurely it
Yeah.
is, but I don't think having a plastic bag over... Like, I know that, like, breath play is a thing, but I don't think it's plastic bags. Ugh, fuck.
So the authorities
Jesus.
turned to the gay community, and rightfully so. The community was not very forthcoming with the authorities, as they already didn't have a good relationship because police often ignored gay-related abuse crimes. And the day before Walker's body was found, a new ruling passed making S&M between consenting adults illegal.
Well, there you
So
go.
no one wanted to come forward with any information in fear that they would be prosecuted themselves.
And this is also, too, in the 60s.
This was in the
Where?
90s.
Oh, in the 90s? Oh, shit. Okay,
He's
never mind.
39
this is
now.
in the 90s.
He
Take it back.
let a long part of his life go by before he
Yeah.
decided to
To go for it.
New Year's
Before he
resolution.
resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
still 90s, not great.
No.
Not a great time for the gays still.
So 2 months passed before he felt he needed to kill again. On May 28th, 1993, he returned to the same pub to search for another victim. He soon met Christopher Dunn, a 37-year-old librarian, who told Ireland he'd like to be dominated and invited him back to his flat in Wealdstone. The two watched an S&M video before Ireland told Dunn to get ready. Dunn was in the bedroom naked except for a studded belt and a body harness. The MO was roughly the same as his first murder. He made Dunn lie face down on the bed and tied his feet together and handcuffed him, consentingly. I should add, like, this wasn't like he was forcing him. Once again, he beat and tortured his victim before suffocating him to death by stuffing pieces of a cloth into his mouth. Since Ireland was still unemployed, he took it upon himself to reimburse himself for the expenses of the murder. Before murdering Dunn, he forced him to hand over his bank card and give him the PIN. After he cleaned the scene once again, he stayed until he felt the coast was clear and he could leave without any suspicion. He then got rid of the shoes and the gloves he had worn, and went to the bank and withdrew £200 from Dunn's account. 2 days after the murder, Dunn's body was discovered by a friend, so on May 30th, 1933. Once again, the police just assumed it was an S&M game gone wrong. On June 4th, 1993, Ireland once again returned to the same pub where he would pick up his third victim, 35-year-old Perry Bradley III, who was the son of a serving U.S. congressman at the time. The two men returned to Bradley's flat, where Ireland suggested that he tie Bradley up. Bradley expressed that his displeasure in the idea. In order to get Bradley to comply, Ireland told him he was unable to perform sexually without elements of bondage. Bradley hesitantly cooperated and soon trussed up on his own bed, face down with a noose around his neck. He then again requested Bradley's bank card and PIN and threatened to torture him with a cigarette lighter if he didn't comply. Bradley eventually gave him the PIN, and Ireland told him to go to sleep, and reluctantly he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not going to kill you. I just need money. Like, I'm not going to kill you. Just fucking go to bed, and I'll leave.
Yeah.
So while he was asleep, Ireland slowly tightened the noose around his neck and killed him. He
was asleep?
Yeah. So he then placed a doll on Bradley's dead body, posed to simulate a sexual act, just like he did with the teddy bears. After this, Ireland did his usual cleanup, took £100 he had found in the flat, and withdrew another £200 from Dunn's bank account. Or sorry, not Dunn's, from Bradley's bank account. Once again, the police did not connect the murders of Walker or Dunn, which in turn frustrated Ireland. So only 3 days after Bradley's murder, he returned to the same fucking pub and found his next victim, a housing warden named Andrew Collier. At Collier's flat in Dulcin, they heard a disturbance outside, and they both went to the window to investigate, and Ireland grabbed the horizontal metal bars that ran across the window. After the disturbance settled, Ireland tied Collier up and demanded his PIN and cash card, but he refused to comply, which enraged Ireland, who strangled him to death. Again, Ireland discovered that another one of his victims was HIV positive. Walker was HIV positive. Yep. Enraging him even more, resulting in him burning Collier's body.
Like, after he died, he set him on fire?
Yeah.
How did he find out he was HIV positive? Like, just looking through his stuff?
Either that or he said something, because he was scared.
Okay.
So, yeah. After this, he also... this part is awful. I didn't like it, but there is reason for it. So, he also strangled Collier's cat and stuffed a condom on the cat's tail. After cleaning the apartment and stealing $70, Ireland left with Collier's flat the next morning. A suspected reason for him killing the cat was that after Ireland killed Walker and had left his dogs locked in a separate room, in the tabloids, he was called like an animal lover. So he wanted to get rid of that assumption.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm not an animal lover.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So finally, the police linked the two murders of Walker and Collier due to the similarities of the crime scene, as well as the strange use of condoms. They also discovered...
Yeah, I wonder why the condom on the cat's tail.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
well, and that was the other thing. He, like, tied up, like, condoms around Walker as well for, like, no fucking reason. Like, I
guess maybe because with his first victim, he gagged him with maybe he's just literally trying to just create a pattern or a signature.
I don't really know.
Maybe? I don't know. Weird.
So, yeah, finally police linked the two murders of Walker and Collier, so the first murder and the one we just talked about, due to the similarities of the crime scene as well as the strange use of condoms. They also discovered a set of fingerprints on Collier's apartment on the metal bars that ran across the window, because he forgot to wipe those off.
Haha, bitch.
Yep.
Fuck you, buddy.
So
it's all coming together.
His fifth and final victim was a 41-year-old chef named Emmanuel Spiteri. On the night of June 12th, 1993, they met at the same fucking pub.
Oh my god, buddy.
And went back to Spiteri's apartment in Catford. Of course, Ireland bound Spiteri to his bed, handcuffed him, put a noose around his neck, demanded a cash card and a pin. And once getting the information, he strangled him to death with the noose, cleaned up while watching TV, waited until the coast was clear, left the apartment without suspicion. However, before leaving, he attempted to set fire to the flat in hope that the whole block would catch on fire. But instead, the fire went out in the same place he started it.
I'm not an arsonist. I just like setting things and buildings on fire, apparently.
So, over 17 days, he murdered 4 people.
Oh my god.
So, on June 13th, 1993, police were still unaware of Emmanuel's death. So, a day later, they still didn't know. So, Ireland rang the police and said, "Have you found the body in southeast London yet and the fire?" By that time, authorities were finally prepared to admit they had a serial killer at large in London. But before they could make an announcement, Ireland called again and said, "I have read a lot of books on serial killers. I think it is from 4 people that the FBI classifies as serial. So I may stop now. I have done 5. I wanted to see if it could be done.
What?
I will probably never reoffend again." And then hung up.
What?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So Spiteri's murder and obviously the phone calls are what prompted authorities to launch a huge publicity campaign, including televised pleas for the killer to turn himself in. Detectives later learned that Spiteri had traveled home on public transit with another man the night of the murder, and a security camera caught a blurry photo of the man he was with.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So the photos were posted, and several gay men from London reported meeting a man that looked like the same man in the security photos.
Haha.
Yep. So on July 18th, 1993, Ireland approached his solicitor and told him that he was with Spiteri on the night in question, but he left him with a different man.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sure.
he admitted that he
I
fucking
was with
reason.
him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I was with him. But he left with a different guy, so it's not me.
Yeah, no, that was
It's like,
for
sir,
a little
no
bit.
one asked.
Yeah, literally, we had no idea who you were.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that information combined with the fingerprints found in Collier's apartment was enough for him to be arrested and charged with Collier's murder on July 21st, 1993. Then on July 23rd, 1993, he was charged with Spiteri's murder. He was sent to prison where he maintained his innocence until August 19th of 1993 when he crumbled and confessed to all 5 murders. He gave police calculated descriptions of the killings, and on August 20th, he was charged with all 5 murders of the men, and each of them giving him a life sentence. So he ended up getting charged with 5 life sentences.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Too often, they stop after like 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Fuck you, buddy.
He ended up passing away, they said, due to like natural causes on February 21st, 2012, while he was still in prison.
How old was he?
58.
58? Yeah. Maybe it was like quote unquote natural.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he specifically said that he chose to kill gay men not because he was homophobic, but because they were easy targets. Yep. They were easy targets, and he knew the relationship that they had with police and the police had with them, so he knew that they wouldn't take it seriously.
Awesome.
But then he ended up basically turning himself in because he was frustrated that they weren't taking it seriously.
Yeah, I find that the whole, like, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll be done now. And then also, you fucking just randomly, I'm gonna stop now forever, and then calls in and is like, yeah, I was with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
What, sir? Do you want to get caught or not?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I don't know. This is a weird one because I feel like sometimes with some people, like, you know, like Ed Kemper literally just straight up said, I did it. And, like, it's almost like he was just, like, he wasn't covering his tracks at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it also didn't seem like he wanted to be caught, you know?
Yeah. It seemed like a lot of people said, like, there's I can't remember if it's a show. It's on YouTube. I think it's called, like, there's Born to Kill, and then the Killer Confession Tapes. He's in both of them, and both of them, the full episodes are on YouTube.
Ooh, I might watch those.
Yeah, but he, like, to me, like, from, like, just, like, watching him and, like, reading all the articles on him and everything and, like, reading my book on him, it kind of sounds like he was just, like, kind of at a point in his life where he was like, I literally, like, I am, like, what fucking at here? Rock bottom. He's like, yeah. I have nothing better to do. Doesn't fucking matter if I go to jail. I'm already homeless. I don't have a fucking job. I'm already a criminal. Who the fuck cares? And he already was, like, fascinated with serial killers. So he'd be like, this.
Yeah, that's so... I think that phone call where he... Like, it was all horrible and creepy. Mm-hmm. But, like, when you told me the phone call, when he was literally, like... I... Like, the one where, like, I wanted to see if I wanted to see if I could... And I could. Like, this is the definition of serial killer.
And I won't do it again.
Yeah, like, that to me... Fuck? Like, that to me is so chilling. Yeah. Because...
You know what it reminds me of? What is it? When Stranger Calls? Have you checked on the children?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Fuck that movie. Well, I just find it so interesting because I feel like one of the things that, like, characterizes, like, a serial... Well, maybe not, but... One of the big things about serial killers is that a lot of the time it's, like, a compulsion. Mm-hmm. And it's something that they have to do. Mm-hmm. You know, like, they can't stop themselves. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah. Absolutely hated quote me on this. He hated killing people. He had to get, like, blackout drunk to kill people. Like, but it was something that he had to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas with this guy, it's almost creepier. Well, yeah, because usually obviously it's not, like, something he had to do.
Yeah, and usually, like, a lot of serial killers, like, there's signs when they're young. Like, when they're kids, they're, like, killing animals, or, like, they've, like, stabbed other people, or, like, getting in fights. But he wasn't at all. He literally was 39 years old when he started.
Well, and, like, literally, when you start, and when he's, like, you told me, like, he wanted to become a serial killer, it was, like, 0 to 100. Yeah. Like, there was nothing, like, yeah, he had a shitty childhood, but people have shittier childhoods.
Yeah, his was bad, but, like, not that bad. Your mom was you were just poor. Like, that literally is all it sounds like to me. You were poor and your mom had bad luck with men.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Welcome to half the world. Yeah. And... Yeah, I don't know. Because it almost feels like a fake story that they didn't do enough character development on because where did that come from? Yeah. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, it was, like, really hard for me to find, like, really anything on his, like, childhood because, like, everything just skipped from, like, teenage mom, murder. Yeah. I'm like, what happened in those 40 fucking years? That, you know, like, and, there was a few things, like, a few articles that I could find with his childhood, and even then, like, I mean, I added it just so you can know what he was like, but I don't think anything in his childhood is, like, really relevant to his murders, because even then, like, he was like, I don't hate gay people, I'm not homophobic, and I'm not homosexual, I just, like, it was just the easiest fucking target. Ones. Yeah.
Which also, fucking, if that doesn't show you, like, how important, you know, your police being part of your community is, what does? He literally picked a minority because he knew that they wouldn't take it seriously until it was too late. This is such an interesting case. Yeah. Because, I just feel like this just to me shows that, you know, anyone can kill. Yeah. You know, that is what it feels like. Because, it wasn't a compulsion, he didn't need to, he wanted to try it, he became a serial killer and was like, well, that's that, I guess. Yeah. It's almost like it was a hobby that he got, you know, good at, and then he's like, well, on to the next thing.
Yeah. I'm over it, thanks. A lot of people were, like, calling him, like, a knockoff Jack the Ripper. Oh. Like, that's what a lot of articles were like. It's like he, like, was like
bootleg Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, it was like he was, like, inspired by Jack the Ripper and all his fucking readings and was like this and just did, and, like, that was it. And like honestly, that is what it feels like. I had a really hard time with this. I kept going back and forth and like changing my mind if I was going to do this, because like I would just start reading. I'd be like, this is so fucking boring. Like I'm just reading like a regular ass childhood.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you got put into foster care, but this sounds very close to one of my friend's childhoods. So
and she's not a serial killer.
And she's not a serial killer.
Or he. They are not a serial killer.
So.
And that's interesting, because I'm actually listening to a 4-part series podcast on Jack the Ripper currently. I'm on the last episode today. And yeah, like, I definitely see the similarities too. Like, you go to a group that is not going to be fought for very hard. And you just fucking run with it. And it works. Unfortunately.
Well, like, the thing is, like, that I was even, like, kind of, like, this is fucked. Like, you know, I know that, like, LGBTQ plus rights are not even really, like, well respected now. But, like, I feel like in the 90s it was definitely not better than it is now, but it was better than it was in, like, the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a larger community that was, like, out in the 90s. Not a huge community, not like it is today, but there was a bigger than it was in like the 70s and 80s. There was a bigger community that was out in the 90s, and even then, no fucks, like absolutely no fucks. It's like, well, sex gone wrong 5 times in a row in London, sex gone wrong. It's like, what the fuck? Like, no.
Yeah, and like that's what I mean too. Like when I was saying like I don't think that's a fetish. Like the way they were killed, like that's not BDSM gone too hardcore. That's
literally tying a noose around somebody's neck and choking them to death with a noose, and then leaving 5 times in the same fucking city. Give me a rest. And
also, you're telling me you had no idea that all 5 of these people were at the same bar the night they died?
Literally, yeah.
You're
like, and I know the thing is like I know that like it wasn't that, like, it was like the first one happened like 2 months prior, but then the last ones all happened within 17 days. But when the second one happened 2 months after, that's still not that long in terms of like murder at the same fucking place. And it
like
took,
how many gay people were being killed a week in London in the 90s?
And it literally took like to his 4th murder for them to be like, oh shit, this is actually connected to the first one. The 4th murder. 4 out of 5 took you to connect it.
And, like, I feel like that, and I think the reason that that's so frustrating is because it's literally, like, sorry, I'm not a detective, I'm not a cop. However,
I have common sense.
If we have 3 dead bodies on our hands, or even if we have 1 dead body on our hand, what I'm going to do is, where were they this evening? Where were they 12 hours ago?
Also, like, I'm so sorry. How common are S&M deaths? Like, really? I don't even give a fuck where they were. You don't even have to be at the same bar. You're telling me you have 3 S&M deaths. And you're like...
Also...
No, it just happens. Just sex is wild.
My next question is, so it's okay if you kill people as long as it's in the heat of the moment?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I know that he's dead, but I was inside of him, so I think that's fine.
I didn't mean to, and then I just left. Oops, sorry. I was scared. Like, what the fuck? No.
All my brain blood was in my boner.
Oh my god. Like, I'm so... yeah, and then, so then, like, a lot of people are, like, obviously saying, well, like, this is just, like, kind of, like, ringing through how, like, homophobic authorities can be and are.
Yeah.
And other people are like, well, no, because there's no way for that. And I'm like, no, I'm with it on this one. He literally said he chose this group because they were an easy target and police wouldn't fucking give a shit. And then 5 murders later, and it took him coming to you for you to get him.
And again, the kicker. They all came from the same fucking bar.
Literally.
It's not he wasn't even bar hopping.
I know.
They came from the same place. Like, there was no covering of his tracks. He fucking took transit home. Which, you know, fair enough, because it gets busy. But also, like, you went to the same bar. You didn't even talk to the owner and were like, hey, have you noticed anyone starting coming here?
Yeah, anybody new?
Like, recently? Yeah.
Because that's not just like
Dicks.
I don't think that's something like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like if you're new to the like S&M gay community scene, you're not just gonna go out and be like, fuck yeah, I'm a top. Where's my man? Like in a new area. No. No, you're gonna like test the waters, hang out a little bit first. You know, maybe light chit chat at the bar, have a couple drinks, go home alone. You're not just gonna go your first night and be like, yeah, I'm a top. Never done this before. Hello, here I am.
But we're doing it now.
We're doing it now. Don't know anybody here. Don't know the area. I don't even live here.
Yeah.
Like what? No. You got to be comfortable to do that. I mean, maybe I'm off base here, but I would think that that is something you have to be comfortable with, not only with yourself, but like with your space, because like, I mean, anybody with half a brain knows hooking up with random people, there is a danger to it. I'm not talking STDs,
Although,
but like you don't fucking know these people.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. All right. Hear me out. So, I think that also something important to note too is that in the 90s, people left their fucking car keys inside of their car at night.
In the 90s?
People were, yeah, man. He's like in the little flip up above the rear view, the mirror, where you look in yourself, above the steering wheel, that little thing. Yeah, I think that in the 90s it was definitely getting to the be careful, like stranger danger land, but I think definitely people were a lot more trusting back then. And like, also something too is that because the gay community was so like openly discriminated against, I think that that gives you a sense of community too. And then you feel like you can trust these people because, you know, they're going through this too, and, you know, you have to find solidarity together. I think it's kind of similar to, like, when I feel safe, well, not always, but I, you know, generally speaking, I tend to feel more comfortable in a group if there's more, if there's other women there too. I feel like it's a similar kind of thing. Different, of course, but similar kind of thing where you find comfort and you trust people a little bit more because you think that they're going through the same things as you. And why would somebody pretend to be gay when it's not, you know, quote unquote, a good thing to be gay?
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So fuck you for taking advantage of those people. They're just lonely and sad, and they're just trying to live their truth and be who they are, and you literally killed them for it.
Yeah. Bitch.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, F this guy. Literally openly preying on the weak. It wasn't even like, okay, I'm not saying like it's okay to murder or it's okay to like pick a group, but like it wasn't even like a fetish thing. Like it wasn't even like he liked little boys or anything like that. It was just like, weakest link, here we go.
Yeah, it was just very cold and calculated.
Yeah. Like there was like no, like it was nothing sexual, like at all. So like he never had sex with them. He never let it get to that point. He never raped them, nothing. He used like a sexual act to his own advantage, because if you're consenting to being tied up, he's like, sick, I've tied you up. Now what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah. Guys, if you are hooking up with someone that you've just met on Tinder or whatever,
please don't let them tie you up.
Yes, all the power to you. Own your body. If you want to go get that D, get that D. I love that for you. Don't let them tie you up.
Or if you do,
please don't do that.
Do it in a way that you know how to get out of.
Are you able to do that?
I think there's certain ways.
I don't know. I don't have any experience. I mean, there probably are certain ways, but I guess, yeah. What if they're tying your hands up behind your back?
Well, I know there's with handcuffs, there's like ones that have push release.
Yeah, true.
So you can like tighten it and then pop it out. Would not recommend. Yes. One time when I was like 10 years old, I handcuffed myself to a chair, and then I was told that it had that push release, and tightened it to the point where my fucking hand was like turning blue. And my friend's grandpa had to like cut the chair and like literally pry the handcuffs off my wrist, and I was traumatized. I was so scared. I thought I was never going to be able to leave his house. I was like, sorry.
I'm here forever
now. I was like at his grandpa's house, and I was like, I'm never going home because I'm stuck to the chair. It was like a dining room chair. I like could have easily gone home with the fucking chair, but like I was like, I'm going to be stuck here forever. I was
This
traumatized.
is my new family now.
Yeah, literally, I was like sobbing. My mom was like, "Would you fucking relax?" She's like, "It's fine." I was like, "My arm's gonna get cut off. I'm losing feeling in my fingers."
Oh my god. Why are your childhood stories so funny?
'Cause I did dumb shit as a kid.
You did do dumb shit as a kid. Oh my god, that's funny. I think the closest I've come to that is like I used to get those like little Chinese finger traps.
Oh my god.
Those were fun. Maybe we should move on to
Are happy?
our happy.
Yeah, you go ahead.
My happy this week is that my family got a PS4.
Oh shit, nice.
Yeah, so we have one of those. Super exciting. Thank you to PlayStation for putting out a PS5 so that we could get a PS4.
I was gonna say, did you get it like hella fucking cheap because of the PS5?
Yeah. Yeah, we got it. It's actually the PlayStation, of course, and then 2 controllers, and it came with like 6 games, I think. I don't know how much it was, but I know it was we got a really good deal on it.
Damn, came with 6 games too. That's wild.
Yeah. So it came with Grand Theft Auto, classic.
Nice.
Came with Need for Speed, Uncharted, Little Big Planet.
Oh, I love that game. That's when we used to
So
play at your
good.
house, right?
Yeah. And then we got it on. We got Little Big Planet 3. Sorry, so it came with that. So my
Nice.
sisters have been playing that, making games.
Oh, that's such a cute game.
Well, I've been playing Uncharted. I feel like it's not the first one, but I don't actually know. And that has been fun. So that's been really good. So I would say that that's my happy of the week because, yeah, it's just been a good time.
Lots of games.
Yeah. If for those of you who don't know, I'm a gamer girl. That's not fucking true. I'm awful at video games, but I like watching them. That's my gamer girl.
Fair enough.
What's your happy?
My happy is I got my legs tattooed this week.
Yes, you did!
They hurt like a bitch, but I love them. But yeah, the girl who did it was so sweet, and we talked a lot about astrology.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we talked about the podcast and everything, and like then we were talking.
Oh, good.
I was telling her, I was like, yeah, the majority of serial killers are Pisces and Virgo. She's like, both my ex-girlfriends are Pisces and Virgo.
And you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
watch out. Yeah, ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun because like I've always, it's nice talking to people who are like also into that, you know.
And not just going like, yeah.
Yeah, but like I like said
Sure.
that because like she was like talking, and I was like telling her about how like I'm a Leo and like all this stuff, and she was like, oh my god, I'm a Cap, and I was like, oh, my moon sign's Cap. She's like, no way, my moon sign's a Taurus. I was like, yes, somebody who actually knows their moon sign. I was like so excited.
I don't even know my moon sign. I have no idea.
Dad.
Yeah. Tut tut.
Yeah, but yeah, she was lovely, and we had a really good time. And at first she was like, it was funny because like I came in and I was like wearing a sweater, and for those of you who don't know, most of my arms are tattooed.
Yes, they are.
But I was wearing a sweater, and like other than that, I don't look tattooed if I have a sweater on. And she was like, I could see she was kind of like, oh, like fuck, like I have a new girl. And she was like,
Yeah.
so like, what's the longest you've been tattooed for? And I was like, oh, my inner bicep was like 5 hours. And she was like, holy fuck. She's like, I thought we were gonna have to do this in 2 sessions, but never mind. I was like,
And you're like,
no. I was like, I don't
Getting
like doing
it
it in 2 sessions because like it's just no, because then I won't want to come back because it fucking hurts, and like I know it's gonna
Yeah,
hurt
just
so
get it
much
done.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, okay, so I talked to Jen because Jen has that area tattooed, but Jen is hers is substantially smaller than mine and not nearly as detailed. And she was like, it wasn't even that bad. And then we were doing it, and I was like,
Oh,
holy
like, fuck you,
fuck. I was like, oh my god. But mine gets
Jen
close
has
to like my
some.
inner thighs, so I
yeah.
think that
Like,
that was where it
Danny's
really
is-
hurt.
Yeah, and Dani's has like lots of shading, and Jen's is really cute, but it's
Yeah.
just like a little Totoro.
Yeah. So
And it's just line work, and like it's adorable and lovely.
Mhm.
But I think definitely not. How long did yours take?
like 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, she was really quick.
Oh my God.
I will say, I already told her that I really appreciate this, but I know I told her what the name of the podcast was. But Nico, if you're listening, not Nico, my boyfriend, Nico, the tattoo artist, if you're listening, she's so smart. I've never had a tattoo artist do this, and honestly, it was so helpful. Like, it made the process so much easier. But she would, so normally tattoo artists like outline the whole piece and then go in and do all the detail. She did it like wing by wing. So she would outline a wing, do the detail of that wing, and then move on. So, because like it's so much harder when they like outline it, because then it's like, then you have time to like sit there and be like sore while they're like scraping back on a part that they've already fucking been on. And then moving. Yeah. So it's like, it's painful in that one spot for like one period of time, and then she moves on to the next spot, and like that was it. And I like said that at the end. I was like, honestly, I was like, I really appreciated that, because holy shit, that made it like worlds easier. Way easier. But I did almost faint. I've never almost fainted in a tattoo. Yeah, you told me you were
dizzy.
Yeah, I was like sitting. Get down. I was like sitting there, and like usually, so a few years ago, you guys want personal shit, here it is. A few years ago, I got in a car accident, and my neck was like fucked. And ever since then, I have tinnitus, which sucks.
You have tinnitus?
Yeah, it fucking sucks. It sucks. Like, randomly. I
didn't know you had tinnitus.
Yeah, I'll hear like whooshing like in my ear, and like my ears will ring all the time. So like it happens all the time, but like it just happens randomly. Like sometimes if I'm just like laying a weird way with my head in a weird way, like I like can't hear fuck all, because like my ears are just like making this like womp womp womp, and like just like sitting there.
Guys, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know that Dani had tinnitus, so thank you.
Yes. But yeah, so like my ears started ringing, but I was like, my ears always ring, so like whatever. And then it started like, it sounded like I was underwater, and it was going on for like a really long time, and I was like, I am really fucking dizzy. And I was like, could you give me some water? I was like, I'm just really dizzy all of a sudden. And I was sitting there, and it was going on for like a good like 5 minutes, and I was like, at first I was like, no, it's just my tinnitus acting up. And then I was like, I actually might fucking pass out. And I don't know why. I ate. Like, it's never happened to me before. I've had tattoos that hurt worse than these ones.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah. And you know what?
And also, she literally just got me water, and then I was fine.
Weird.
Like, I had water, and I was fine. I didn't even eat anything. Like,
weird.
I ate
and
before.
Something to know about Dani, too. She is not the kind of person who will ask for any help at any time for any reason.
No.
Ever. Even just literally asking for water, I'm a little bit shook.
The only reason I asked was because I was like, it's going to be so much more embarrassing if you faint versus asking for a fucking glass of water.
This is what I'm talking about.
I get embarrassed really easily.
And like for like things that I'm like, Dani, that's not embarrassing. And she's like, it's so embarrassing.
I don't know why. I just feel like deep-seated embarrassment all the time.
Yeah.
But like,
and I think Dani also always feels like, I think you always think everything's your fault.
Yes.
So even like, I'm about to pass out because I'm in pain. What have I done wrong?
Yeah, literally.
No.
This all goes back to my childhood.
I was just saying, I'm not exposing you. I think you're lovely.
I think this was from the time that... I mean, I'm going to expose my dad because this happened, and this is still the most ridiculous thing ever, and I hold no accountability for myself. My dad and his girlfriend, like, left me on a mountain, like, me and my friend, and then got mad at us because they walked ahead, and we lost them because the road split. So me and my friend were like 11. We were like, we're going to go to the area where there's people. So we went that way, but I guess they went the other way. But, like, my dad didn't bring his phone, of course. And I had my phone, so I called my mom, and I was, like, panicking because I was like, I'm going to die on this mountain. This old couple was so nice, and they were like, you're not going to die. We'll get you back down to the base. And I was, like, on the phone with my mom. Mom's like, I'll pick you up. You're not going to die. And I was like, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm going to starve out here.
The most
and then
dramatic.
I got in trouble for that. That was my fault. That they walked away because we were playing in the snow, and we lost them.
Yeah, Dani, you should have known that them taking you up to a mountain was not a good time for you, okay? That was their time. Yeah.
I'm a child and I never see snow. I live in Vancouver. It goes away like in an hour.
No, it's your fault.
I just want to touch it.
I just wanted to play. Yeah, I think that was a fair exposure.
Yeah. That's why I always feel like everything's my fault.
Because of that one snowy mountain day. And then every other time it's happened.
Yeah. Maybe the elevator as well. Maybe Thailand as well.
The elevator. Oh my god, Thailand! Yeah, so I think that pretty much brings us round. I think that's oh, you are adorable.
Sorry.
I think that's it for us. Mm-hmm. But before we go, follow us, please.
Please.
Listen to us, follow us. We are Silence of the Hags across the board. Instagram, silenceofthehags@gmail.com. Again, thank you, Steph, for your amazing email. We really appreciate it. And then we are Silence of the Hags on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Pocket Casts, Anchor. And then one more that we always forget.
I don't think so.
Yeah, remember? From last week?
Oh, that was the new one. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, we don't upload to it anyways.
No.
Sorry.
They automatically do it.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, well. So, yes, thank you all. And am I missing anything, Dani? Anything you want to add before we sign off?
I don't think so.
See you?
We will see you on
Okay.
Wednesday.
We will see you on Wednesday, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yeah, we'll post pics of Mr. Ireland.
Mr. Ireland. I'll see if I can find some pics of his victims prior to their death, just to commemorate them and
Give
say
a little bit
fuck
of
you
humanizing.
to Colin.
Yeah, huge fuck you to Colin.
Yeah.
All right, you want to sign us off, girly?
Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.